Welcome. This is 101 Tips for Interviewers and Interrogators. I'm Stan Walters, your host, and we're going to cover tip number 23. Glad to have you back for tip number 23 of 101 Tips for Interviewers and Interrogators. Have you considered you may be suffering from an interviewer's fatal disease, analysis paralysis? Let me describe what the analysis paralysis process is, at least the way I describe it. There's three things that happen are typical that tell me that you have this disease or disorder. Number one, you become so concerned as the interviewer in focusing on finding the deception. And we start looking at every single detail. We start looking at every little movement, every nuance, every little gesture, every breath, to the point that we've focused only on that piece of information alone and nothing else. Number two problem, a symptom of paralysis analysis, is once we begin to focus on all that, we begin to have a collapse of conscience, a collapse of awareness, and we fail to see any other output or any other outcome for the interview. And so we're now so much involved in getting the gotcha type of syndrome and being able to proudly declare, I caught him lying. Wonderful. But what did you get from the subject? What valid information? You can catch anybody lying, but can you find information the subject's unwilling to give to you, or wants to withhold it? So the third element of analysis paralysis is suffering from confirmation bias. Everything becomes a deception, and you've closed off. And we forget to do the most important thing as the interviewer, which is listen, find the topic area, and harvest as much information as you can from that subject, victim, witness, and suspect, because that's the area that's given the greatest problem. So look at behaviors not so much for the end game of spotting deception, but pinpointing these are topics that need further analysis and further depth and coverage and better Googling. If you go back and look at one of the other tips, do a better job of Googling, asking the right questions to recover that information. Fine, you've discovered deception, but what have you learned in terms of information that you got from the subject that you didn't have going in? Glad to have you back for this series. Hope you've subscribed to all of them. If you've not and just happened to drop in on this one, be sure to hit the subscribe button that you'll see on the side here to my left. Join in the series and pick up some of the rest of the tips that you've already passed, and be ready for the next group of tips that are coming along. Also, please connect with me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, so that I might be able to keep in touch with you and give you more information and more details how to take you into the next generation interview and interrogation. Be sure to check my website, thelieguy.com, and look about getting into courses to advance your interviewing skills to the top level. Hope to see you again. We'll be back for tip number 24. Be safe.